Hello and welcome back to Asian Cinema Season 2. To preface this video, I would like to say that this is now part of Phase 2 of Asian Cinema Season 2. So I just posted a video last week about the film One Cut of the Dead, which is part of Asian Cinema Season 2. Asian Cinema Season 2 started in, I think, September of 2019 and ran for 6 weeks. And there was like a lot of videos in there, I think 50, 60, 70 odd videos, something ridiculous like that. But there was so much I didn't get to. And so throughout the rest of 2020, I'm going to try and get to some of the things I wanted to. And anything Asian cinema related, I'll kind of throw in under that banner of Phase 2 of me trying to complete some of the stuff that I wanted to do. It's all very confusing, I understand, but this is a very cool Mail Day video. Welcome back to another Mail Day video. This is a big one. This is a huge one. This is a holy grail title for me. This is a film that I'm so excited to have in my collection. So you may remember last year in Asian Cinema Season 2, there was a series within the series of the many series within the series called Naoko Ogigami Retrospective with myself and Daisuke Beppu, one of my favorite YouTubers and good YouTube pals. And we talked about the entire collected directorial works of the Japanese filmmaker Naoko Ogigami. And I loved doing that series with Daisuke, and in general, I loved discovering and exploring Naoko's films. I think that she is a wonderful filmmaker. I love her films so dearly. And one of the films I have, well, the only film of hers that I have and own, is her 2007 film called Glasses. Now, I have a Korean Blu-ray here of Glasses, and it's one of my most prized Blu-rays, actually, because it's just so great to own one of her films. And in Japan, her films are very expensive. I think in general, Blu-rays in Japan are very expensive. You're looking at like 40, 50 quid a pop to get one of these imported. It's really difficult. But this is a Korean release, which is actually fairly inexpensive on eBay. And so I really just, was over the moon to get this film in my collection on Blu-ray. The only problem is that all of the extras, of which there are many, are not subtitled in English, which is a real shame. And that's only when I can hope that maybe some boutique label in the UK or even America can bring her films to the Western audience in a big way. I would love to see a box set of her films. That would be, I'd pay over the odds for that. I really would. So yeah. Anyway, so Glasses is a film that actually really helped me, but it didn't really start with this one. So as far as Naoko's films go, I was first introduced to her with her 2017 film, Close Knit, which is a phenomenal film. Really, really great. I highly recommend anyone check out Close Knit. And so I thought, okay, I watched that during the first Asian cinema season. So for the second one, I thought, okay, let's go back and see some of her other films. And the first one I watched very much led me to watch Glasses, because they're kind of sister films with each other, I feel like. And the other film is the film I have in this box right here. And this is a Korean K-packet. You always know you got something of top quality when you get a K-packet in the mail, I think. And as always, we have, the bomb-proof packaging. And I want to thank, I've forgotten what his name is. Craig. No, I remember his name, but I have no idea what his current screen name is. You may remember him as Spider Geek, but he's changed his name so many times, I can't remember off the top of my head what he goes by now. But I followed him on Instagram, I think, through all the name changes, and he was posting about certain titles, and I said, well, where'd you get that from? He sent me a link to an eBay seller. I was looking on it, I was like, yeah, that's a bit too pricey for me. But I saw in one of the listings from this Korean eBay seller, if there's anything in Korea that you want, send me a message and let me know. So I sent him a message and said, do you have this film by Naoko Ogigami? Or are you able to kind of, procure a copy for me? And he said, oh, that's a really difficult title to get, which makes sense because I can never find it anywhere. And I said, okay, well, I was looking for a copy with the slipcover. And he said, yeah, that's probably never going to get that, And he said, but leave it with me and I'll try and get back to you, see if I can find anything. So I thought, I'll never hear from this guy again. 3 weeks later, he sends me a message saying, you might want to look at this listing. And it was a listing of this film that's in this box right now. I'm going to open it up. And I have actually already opened this. This is kind of like a... Here's one I opened earlier. There's a bit of an Art Attack vibe to this. But, nice and bubble wrapped. I did take it out of the... it had one of the plastic sleeves over it. And this is a used copy that he found and he said that, it's not in great condition. It's in beautiful condition. There's a few marks along the slipcover, but this is actually a slip case as well. And as usual, I'm rambling before I even get into the actual film itself, but it is Naoko Ogigami's 2006 movie Seagull Diner, or Kamome Diner, or Kamome Shokudo, I believe is the full Japanese title. It's kind of, I'm not sure which to go with, because you can just say the English title, the same with glasses, it's just glasses, or you can say Seagull Diner, or you can kind of do a mix. People seem to do a mix. It's listed in most places as Kamome Diner, which is seagull in Japanese, and then diner in English. But anyway, this is a film that really helped me, actually. I've talked about it, but I think made two videos on this already. But to own this film, it means so much to me. And this is such a really nice addition. I love the images that they've used from the film here. Again, there's a little bit of a dent on maybe the spine there, but not even barely noticeable. It's a really nice white effect. It matches quite nicely with the Glasses Blu-ray, and I do feel like these are sister films. They both came out within a year of each other. Both feature two of the same lead actresses, and both are very quiet movies where nothing really happens, and it's about being nice to people, and about being nice to yourself. I would say Seagull Diner is about what happens when you're nice to people and you trust in people. And I think Glasses is about what happens when you're nice to yourself and you trust in yourself. I actually think that it's difficult for me to have one without the other. I think they're both masterpieces, and when I first saw them, I thought they were both great. Gave them like 4.5 out of 5. Watching them again with Connie, I think these are like 5 out of 5s. I really love these films. So Seagull Diner in particular is about this Japanese woman who moves to Helsinki in Finland and opens up a diner. And she has no business. It's not doing very well, but she's just hoping that business will come. She trusts in people. And it's not a very realistic movie in that sense. And then she meets another Japanese woman in Finland, and then they meet another Japanese woman, and these three women become very good friends. And they try to make the diner a success, but it's not even focused on that. There's no conflict really at all. It's just this beautiful film about these three women. But is it even really about them? It's so low key, it's so chill. And to have the Blu-ray of this, which does have English subtitles, of course, is just a thrill to me. I absolutely love this film. And it was a bit pricey, but nowhere near as pricey as the Japanese edition. And like the Japanese edition, it has like an hour of extras, but with no English subtitles, unfortunately. But this is, I think, the best option. But again, this was something that this Korean seller was able to find for me used. So I don't know if anyone would be interested in it, if they'd even be able to get this copy. So this is just really me registering my own personal excitement and joy that I have Seagull Diner in my collection. I don't have to watch my downloaded copy anymore. I can just watch the beautiful high definition transfer of the Blu-ray. Love this film so much. As I was saying, this film really helped me. I was going through one of the worst periods of my life. I'd been hit with anxiety for the first time, which is something I'd honestly been very what's the term I can use here? When it comes to anxiety, I almost feel like, do people really feel that? A completely hands up. I almost felt like, is that really, are you just worrying too much, which is awful, It's almost as bad as saying to someone with depression, why don't you just feel happy instead, Well, it isn't really that bad, but, as someone who has suffered depression since I was a teenager, I don't know why I wasn't more understanding or tried to be more understanding and empathetic to people who have anxiety, but I just never experienced it. So I was kind of pig-headed to it, I guess, blind to it. There's a word, I can't think of it, but then I experienced it. And I was like, holy fuck. I mean, I wasn't even experiencing it that bad. And I just felt, how can people cope with this? And I was really in a bad way. I was just worrying all the time. Going into work was a big struggle. It was, again, probably the worst period of my life so far. And I know there's going to be an even worse period than that because I wasn't really going through all that much to begin with. So, I feel like when things get really shit again in my life, which they will do, the relative comfort in which I'm living in now, this too shall pass, and I'll go through some more shit again. That's the way life works, and I'd like to think that this film will come along again and help me, if only for an hour and 40 minutes, because I put this film on when I was feeling so bad, and it didn't lift me, it soothed me. And I just felt like I'm okay for now, you know? It did something for me for the moment, and even though it was just for that moment, it helped. And after this, I thought, wow, I love this film, let me watch another one. I put on Glasses, and I think Glasses, even more so, is a film about self-care in a way. And again, not even in an overt way, but, you know, under the surface there is a message about taking care of yourself in Glasses and giving yourself that time. And that's what I did. I called in sick from work, I think, and I watched these films, and it lifted me so much. And every day got a little bit easier, you know. And I'm not. It's a dangerous thing to say that, because you shouldn't expect films to be a cure for anything, and they certainly weren't a cure for what I was going through, but they really helped. It slightly bothers me that the white of these two don't really match. This one's a bit off-white than this one. But I thought that they were both from the same line. I don't think they are, actually, even though they're both Korean releases. They look fairly similar. And this kind of minimalist cover of Seagull Diner matches the cover of the Japanese version, I believe. And I think the Glasses one is a little bit different in Japan, so this is kind of more of a Korean cover. But I like that they both have different artwork on the insides, and they seem to match quite well. And this one isn't a slip cover, it's actually a complete slip box, so that's really nice. Anyway, so there we go. This was a holy grail for me. I really wanted to own this film, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection with Glasses. And that's about it. And I do believe it's region free. I would assume. Fairly certain. I don't think it even says on the back. Does it say on the back of the Glasses one? I don't think it does. I mean, I have a region free player, so it's not really a problem, but yeah, I'm fairly sure it is region free. But anyway, so there we go. That was my mail day video for Seagull Diner. I implore you to check out those films, download them, you know, just watch them. You know, the most important thing is that the films get watched and more people see them. And I'm banging the drum for Naoko Ogigami as hard as I possibly can, and hopefully this goes a little way to continue to bang that drum and hopefully get a few people interested, but just in general, just to register my excitement at having one of my favorite films in my collection. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans and calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.